Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. With details and coverage on this week's excitement, here's Benjamin Rockwell with Computer Talk Radio.
The website, computertalkradio.com, computertalkradio.com. The phone number, 888-NERD-888. That's 888-6373-888. This week is a very special week for Computer Talk Radio. We are getting ready to do our annual Consumer Electronics Show. That's actually CES. We're doing our coverage up there in Las Vegas. I say up there in Las Vegas because of where I'm located. I'm located in Southern California. Steve Keski has actually flown across the country from Virginia. He's joined me here in studio, and we're getting ready to head off to Las Vegas. Now, one of the things that people don't realize frequently is that CES is it's a trade convention, it's a trade show, but it's unlike any trade show that they could ever even imagine.
That's true. It's a madhouse.
Yeah, madhouse is that's a nice word for it. Yeah. I am continually amazed at everything. I just saw the numbers from last year's CES, and the numbers were downright amazing. 2.47 million square feet of show floor space. That's official show floor space.
That figures.
That is really huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And when you consider whatever it is, it's 3,500 to 4,000 different official vendors. When we say vendors, we're talking about these are demonstrators, exhibitors that are there.
Yeah, different booths.
Yeah, saying, hey, would you like to check this out? Would you like to check that out? And, some of these booths, Intel, just to give you an idea of the size of the Intel booth, it is the size of a supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah, a small to mid-sized supermarket.
That's right.
And that's just Intel. And some of these other booths are just huge.
And it varies. And the how many variations that you can get. In one of the different smaller venues, there was a Chinese guy who could speak no English, but he had hired this woman dressed as a geisha just to be his interpreter.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, it is the International Consumer Electronics Show. That is one of the things that they talk about. It is definitely international. There are a number of vendors that come from the various provinces in China, and they're looking to sell products here into the United States.
Yep.
Whatever their products are, some of them, a number of these products that we see are new and unique. Some of them are the same thing that we see at a number of other booths.
Yeah. And it's different, basically different adaptations of one technology or different technology or a different way of presenting it to the public.
Yeah. We are going to see. We haven't. This is a couple of days before we're going to drive up. We know that there are going to be a large number of 3D printer manufacturers. There are going to be a large number of drone manufacturers.
Absolutely.
A number of companies that make microphones, a number of companies that make headphones, a number of companies that make this computer part, that computer part, hard drives, monitors, you name it, televisions.
Yeah, and healthcare. I mean, it's just coming out of your ears. How many companies are into wearable health care in one way or another, from watches to shirts,
yes,
to pants, to running shoes, you name it. These people are coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah. High-tech shoes. We're talking the connected shoe. A company has sent me an invite for the connected insole. You can wear whatever shoe you want, but they'll put in a high-tech insole that will communicate to your smartphone.
Yeah.
Little odd, a little strange, you know.
And then you get into the whole smart home and all of that stuff is there too. And, you know, every manufacturer that's doing anything is saying, oh, look at the way we have it all set up.
Yeah. Now, we should backtrack just a little bit. I want to go back to televisions. I want to mention like the wall of televisions you may recall from Panasonic last year. Now, when we talk about a wall of televisions, we're talking about the nice 80-inch screens, but you're so far away from them. I don't even think I counted them. It was probably like 20 of them across by 20 of them high,
something like that.
All of them 80 inches, or maybe they were 90 or 100 inches. You know, just huge screens. And they're doing this, and that's just Panasonic, and that's just one wall where they're just trying to draw people in.
Yeah.
And they were doing some 3D experience there. Yeah, people have heard me talk about 3D. I don't buy into 3D whatsoever, but smartphones, a lot of smartphone stuff. And tablets too.
Tablets, smartphones, applications. Do all kinds of stuff.
And the cases for them, all of the accessories for electronics. So just to give people an idea, if you had to sum it up into one word, now you've been a couple of times, but it's still, to me, it's always just wow. What would be the one word you would apply, Steve?
Incredible.
Yeah, and incredible and probably even in the original term of it. There is no real way that you can describe some of this with credibility.
That's true. And there are so many options of the word incredible that you can use incredible with. You know?
Yeah.
Number of booths, incredible. Number of people, incredible. And it goes on from there.
About 175,000 last year. 175. There are more people that were there last year at CES than were at the Olympics in the media. That's just media people. Media beat out the Olympics by 1,000 people. Yeah, 6,000 media people for the Olympics, 7,100 for CES last year. This year is probably going to be pretty much the same kind of thing. The pushing, the shoving, the crazy lines for getting a cab. Uber is, if there are people driving in to do their whole part with Uber, but even the buses. Yeah. Most of the buses, the charter buses west of the Mississippi, unless they're already chartered and they're already going to be going through whatever, off to
Los Angeles
Old Faithful or something.
Else.
Yeah. They're going to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
If you're having a hard time finding a bus, it's because it's in Vegas.
For a week, they're going to be in Vegas.
Yeah. And then, of course, for us, we have the after-hours events.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those things where we go and we will we're going to, Steve and I, and Deb Shadovitz is going to join us. We're going to be going to not only the show floors, all over the place. We can't even hit all of the show floor space. But we're also going to see the car space. But we're going to go to these after-hours events where they're just catering to press. And we're talking about, okay, Vegas has ballrooms, but not like any ballrooms you've ever seen. They are absolutely ginormous. And they're filled with press people. That's all there is. And it's not even the cameraman and the sound man. It's just folks who are reporting on this stuff.
Yep. And they're coming from all over the place. Now, as you know, I'm legally blind. But there's blind people interviewing people on different subjects and different stuff all over the place. And I mean, I ran into a guy with a dog, a seeing dog, and somebody, a host, that was telling him about all the booths he was going past.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. Now, I'm going to give out the website one more time here because I want you to feel free to grab the podcast for this. This is, of course, the chance for you to hear all of this. Sometimes, you might be listening to the show, and you might some stations carry only a portion of the show, a shorter portion. So go to computertalkradio.com and check out the podcast. This is Benjamin Rockwell.
This is Steve Keski.
And we're going to start our CES cover. Oh, wait, Marty Winston. Marty Winston is going to chime in next here on Computer Talk Radio.
Let me tell you about The Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio, so I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theradiofactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time. theradiofactory.com.
The website, computertalkradio.com, computertalkradio.com. CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, is a place where a lot of people go to see things. I go there to see things that I've heard about, I've read about it, stuff that I haven't heard about or seen or any of that. Marty Winston joins me now. Normally we put him in the second hour, and he talks about the 40-year house. But Marty's been going to CES now for, I don't know, Marty, how long? Half a century or so?
Yeah, pretty close to that.
Yeah. So you do an amazing amount of pre-show homework to find out what's going to be there. And I will tell you, actually, the homework that you do, Marty, is amazing. I've walked the aisles with you, and you have just this amazing talent for uncovering the things that the marketers there not only want you to see, but the things that they don't want you to see. So let me ask you, Marty, what are some of the things, what are the categories that people say you have to see, and also some of the things that most people don't see? Or, yeah, okay, let's start off. I'm guessing you see Eureka Park the same way I do, but explain that to the audience.
Well, Eureka Park is for startups. It costs them only $1,000 to be there. Almost everywhere else in the show, it's $4,000 to $10,000 is a minimum. So a small company putting together $5,000 can be there and showcase their stuff. And they all have the big dream that they're going to get discovered and make it to Hollywood or Silicon Valley or somewhere. And in fact, most of the products there will not reappear. Most of them they were failures at the moment they were conceived. Now, Mom said, boy,
Sure.
aren't you clever, and
The haptic fork
together.
comes to mind. The whole fork that vibrates when you're eating too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, except that was there for 3 years. I don't even understand that one. So Eureka Park, it's a vast wasteland.
Yeah, it's supposed to be where all of the next generation ideas are coming from, and really it's all when next year's failures are coming from. Sometimes You don't have to wait. Sometimes they're this year's failures.
Yeah, very true. They might not make it to June. Wearable tech, whether we're talking smartwatches or the Fitbit kind of concept, what are your thoughts on that?
There's been wearable tech forever. I personally, right now, I'm wearing a Timex.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes, okay.
Its benefit, almost everything you'll see at CES, is that I can go a year to two before I have to worry about the battery. Wearable tech needs recharging. Wearable tech that needs recharging will be in the charger one day, and you just will forget to put it back on, and the next day you figure, well, I really didn't need it the previous day. So wearable tech tends to be a money pit.
Yes.
And what is it really doing for you? What is the functionality that it's adding that isn't in my Timex?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what happened to my Pebble Watch. I did not make the jump to the Apple Watch. I wear my watch constantly, and my watch is, forget low tech, it's zero tech. It's a self-winding watch. Big screen, forget big screen TVs. I'm talking the giant, huge screen televisions, not the 60-inch, but the 180-inch screens. Any thought on that?
Well, first of all, unless you've got a remodeler to expand your living room, that set that looks so good in the convention center is not going to look so good at home.
Yeah.
Second, what are you going to watch? Really? I mean, even if it was shot in 4K, you're not watching it in 4K. Are you that interested in skin pores? And third, and this is this is the one that really gets me. How wide is your visual field? If you back up far enough to see the whole screen, you might as well have been closer on a smaller screen.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you're moving your head all the way forwards and backwards. Smart home appliances, and I mean, I'm going to preface this. I said this last year. I've said this in previous years. The whole idea of the fridge, the smart fridge, just kills me. It's like, why? Your thoughts?
Well, the idea is you're in a grocery store and you're going to take a look at the camera inside the fridge door to tell whether or not your cream cheese is expired. Is that about it?
Yeah.
The problem is you're not going to see everything. The problem is how detail-oriented you have to be to check on that. You're going to buy something because you think it's not something fresh.
Sure,
You're not going to end up actually using it more than a few times. And for most people who buy them, it's to show off to their friend. Look, I can see in my fridge. Well, so can your teenager.
Exactly. So you just call home. Yeah, the great practical way to do that. If we can, actually you don't call the kid, you text them, but that's another story. Security alarms, there's a lot of do-it-yourself security alarm stuff there.
Right, and the fatal flaw in most of them is what they're going to do is, in the event of an emergency, send a text message or an app alert to your smartphone and the smartphones of your friends and family. And then what? You're not cops. You're not armed. You don't know how to deal with that stuff.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to send. Yeah, I'm not going to send it to my family. My family is without traffic, 20 minutes away. So that's not a good idea.
Well, not only that. What are you going to do? Call the police and say, I have an app that says there's trouble at my house.
Yeah. That's great. You got a smartphone. All right. That's cool. Speech interfaces. It seems like we've become addicted to talking to Siri. But really throughout the house, this concept of Alexa, and everybody's coming up with their own version of it. Your thoughts on there?
Have you seen one that's accurate, that's reliable, that always understands perfectly what you're saying?
Siri does about 97%, I would say.
And when you hit that other 3, what happens?
She calls the cops and tells them that somebody's broken into my house. You got a point there. Okay. And I guess we kind of link that into home automation. What about home automation? I mean, you are the proprietor of the 40-year house.
Right. But I'm dealing with the generation after next.
Yes, true.
In automation technology. Mm-hmm. Home automation right now isn't. Home automation right now is making your house remote controlled. Meaning it means you getting up out of your seat to turn off the light switch instead of making your smartphone act as the remote control for it. How lazy are you?
Yeah. There is a lot of that's there. I think most people take it only to that extent as far as a fancy remote control. I hadn't thought about that. I've actually automated my when my grandparents passed away. I automated the lights for their home to make it look lived in.
And you could do that with a timer. Very cheap automation without dealing with the system.
Sure. Yeah, there is that. High-end audio. This is an area that both you and I are fond of.
We're fond of it, but both you and I have Not everyone on the planet is gifted with a good ear. Many people cannot tell the difference. There are a whole bunch of people out there, God bless you, enjoy it for yourself, who think there's good quality in a Bose system, and there isn't. It's distorted. It's colored. It is manipulating your appreciation of it. High-end audio is extremely hard to get done correctly. If you have the right speaker, there's a good start, but is it in the right room? Is it being driven by the right amplifier, and what are you listening to? The last thing you need is a $20,000 audio system to listen to rap.
Yeah, you can do that with a $50 car stereo. Yeah, hopefully not in my neighborhood, though, please. One last area which everybody seems to push, and that's the traps that wind up finding their way under our feet. The cleaning robots, the little Roombas, and all of that. Your thoughts there?
Well, my favorite among those are the ones that make a big deal out of picking up pet hair. Now, I'll try to be discreet about this. If your pet is leaving hair on the floor, every once in a while, training will slip and there will be something else left on the floor. And if you allow that robot to roll over that something else, you've ruined both the floor and the robot.
Yeah, that's definitely an area which we'll just say it stinks. This is Benjamin Rockwell. You're listening to Computer Talk Radio. I'll be back with more CES insight and interviews and all kinds of stuff next here on Computer Talk Radio. I'm constantly looking for the right place to get computer hardware. It's not easy, as there are so many stores that have gone out of business, so many shady characters online, or they're simply not capable of handling diverse needs. In 1979, two guys got together and built a computer company that could serve your nerdy needs. Micro Center. The wide range of products at Micro Center includes even the latest of Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and other hobbyist-level computers. They also have drones. They've got them in all price categories, from toys to, oh boy. Look, you're looking for console gaming, home automation. Micro Center's got that. Hardware, software, accessories, or, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. From Apple to Zyxel, Micro Center has what you're looking for. 25 stores across the nation, or you can check them out online at microcenter.com. That's microcenter.com.
Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
All right, so I am out here, and I am at one of the events that's called Digital Experience. And one of the things that really caught my eye here was this company that I'm sitting here. I'm going to tell you a story, though, real quick. Probably about 7 years ago or 8 years ago, my son was doing tap dance, and he was doing a fairly big routine, and he did a pratfall, and he wound up with a concussion. Now, that kind of woke me up, because I remembered that one of the Three Stooges, Curly, basically, he used to do pratfalls all the time, and he wound up with concussions, and he wound up with, we presume, like,
CTE.
CTE. What is CTE? Chronic
traumatic encephalitis.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Encephalopathy.
Yes. Yeah.
Traumatic encephalopathy.
Yeah. If you've seen the movie Concussion,
right,
then you might have seen a lot more in regards to this. Now, I'm sitting here with Mike Sjogren, and the company name is PreventBiometrics, and this is a very interesting device. Go ahead. Let's talk about this. What is it?
Sure. So the Cleveland Clinic actually figured out finally how to put a sensor into a mouth guard that accurately measures impacts to your head. So this is an area where there's been a lot of things like helmet sensors and skin patches that have just not worked at all.
Sure.
And so the world has been trying to figure out, how do you get information on what's causing these concussions? So we have the first device that actually plus or minus 5% measures impacts to all parts of your head in a helmeted sport. So you wear the mouth guard, and it records any impact that you have, sends that to a device. We have an ability to set a threshold where doctors basically are telling us now without real data yet that 75 to 80 G's of force is a bad enough impact that a kid should be assessed.
Okay.
And so our goal in a world where well over half of concussions are never diagnosed.
Yeah.
And right now we rely on coaches to be the first ones to look at a kid and decide whether they actually should be pulled from a game.
Sure, yeah. Now, my son he hit his head pretty hard on a wood floor.
Yep.
And we didn't even think anything of it, and he complained about a headache for a while, and then we took him off to the doctor, clinic, ER, whatever it was. I can't remember at the moment, but yeah, they said, yeah, you've got a concussion. Now, you have a similar story, don't you?
Yes, my son, I have 3 sons who play sports,
Sure.
and all 3 have had concussions. One of them had a very bad one in hockey where he missed a semester of school and a year of playing before he returned to play.
Wow.
And even in that case, we didn't have any idea how bad the hit that he took was because there was just no information, right? We'd hoped he'd be back playing in a week, and it ended up being much, much worse than that.
What was that, a body check into the stands? Or?
He actually was tripped in a practice and fell back on the back of his head.
Oh, man. Ow.
And I had a younger son who, so what happens in a lot of these things is the parent just doesn't know what to do.
Sure.
The kid feels better after a little while.
Yeah.
And he may or may not be fully recovered.
Yeah.
Now, no mouth guard, no device will prevent a concussion. A helmet doesn't prevent a concussion.
Right.
But we do know that if you have a small concussion and you keep playing, you're much more likely to get a bad one. So our goal is to get more kids identified earlier on and protect them from staying in games where they really aren't safe to play.
Yeah. So now you've got this mouth guard, and there's a sensor in it, right?
Yes. There's actually 4 accelerometers that are built into the mouth guard. So it measures the G-force, the direct force that you take, the rotational force, and the location. So over time, we're working with researchers.
The location, like of the hit. Okay.
Yeah. So the picture on the app actually shows you exactly where the kid got hit.
Okay.
And how hard.
Okay.
And the rotational force. And the researchers are now believing over time that rotational force is probably a bigger indicator of concussions than the G-force.
Now, would a rotational force? I'm not a doctor, and would a rotational force also indicate something like a whiplash kind of situation or something like that
so
as
if you
well?
Think about your brain in basically being in water inside your skull.
Yeah.
As it shakes around, if you have rotational force, your brain's basically rubbing on your head as it moves, and that's what they think causes the bruising.
Wow.
So the good part for us is we're now beginning to work with a lot of researchers because so far they haven't had the ability to get any data. So we're now working with both the Department of Defense and the NCAA on helping them gather data using our device on these concussion studies.
Wow, this is amazing. So a team would buy
for all their players.
For all of their players. So we're talking a bunch of these different units at, you already mentioned it to me earlier, 125 apiece.
Yep.
And then, of course...
and they would build that into their fees, which
sure.
is as a mouth guard, it's a very expensive mouth guard. As an impact monitoring device or protected device,
sure.
The hockey helmet costs $200, the stick costs $200.
Yeah.
It's a reasonable thing for this
It's quite
kind
reasonable,
of safety.
yeah. When we start thinking about, many of these different things, I saw the movie Concussion, and I was just dumbfounded.
Yeah.
And I'd already been aware of that situation. I'd been following it a little bit in the news, and some of these players are doing weird things to make sure that their brains
are protected,
get studied
for research. Exactly.
For research.
Yep. Chris Nowitzki is
their final last act.
Right. Chris Nowitzki runs is one of the main guys for the Brain Clinic in Boston that does all this.
Yeah.
And we've met with them because there's no data. Chris is a big backer of a hit count, right? That a certain number of hits is probably dangerous. But the fact is they don't have any research because they don't have a way to measure the hits. So we believe that this device will be critical to building the database of evidence that's needed to make better decisions around safety in these sports.
This is absolutely amazing. I wish we had more time. Do me a favor, Mike. Give out the website where people can find out more information in regards to all of this.
Sure. We have a lot of information on our website at PreventBiometrics, PreventBiometrics.com.
There is so much here at the show. This is going to be just an amazing show here. Thank you very much, Mike. It was wonderful talking with you.
Great talking to you, Ben.
It is kind of neat, the fact that we're here at CES 2017, the Consumer Electronics Show, and we get to violate all of the TSA line stuff. Everybody else, there's all kinds of people wandering around. They don't get to wear backpacks or carry around any kind of bags, except for us. We're the press. We're strong. We're representing. We're weak. What do you mean, no, we're strong? I'm sitting here and
We're strong because we are representing the people.
There we go.
All the nerds out there.
All the nerds, yeah. This is, of course, Benjamin Rockwell.
And Steve Keski.
And you're listening to Computer Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Benjamin Rockwell. Most of us use digital cameras nowadays, but what do we do with those old pictures and slides in the back of the closet? Well, let me tell you about Legacy Digital Productions. They specialize in taking your old memories on film, videotape, and slides and digitizing them to DVDs. If you have boxes of old slides, then you know they fade more and more each year. Let Legacy Digital scan them for you and stop the aging process dead in its tracks. You'll get beautiful 10-megapixel digital files, color-corrected and ready for printing. All this is done faster and cheaper than buying a film scanner and doing it yourself. Your files are then burned onto gold archival DVD discs where they will last for generations. Call right now, mention my name, Benjamin Rockwell, and receive a 30% discount on your order. Call toll-free 1-866-2-LEGACY. That's 1-866-2-LEGACY. And tell them Benjamin sent you. Your memories are priceless, so call 866-2-LEGACY now.
CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
ComputerTalkRadio.com. We are here at CES 2017, and I have so much stuff from so many booths. I have business cards. I have news releases. I have so much stuff. I don't know where to put it all. It's dragging me down. I'm dying.
He's not dying.
No.
Little note, it is exhausting, though.
Yeah, it is. And that's the whole idea. Is you're getting not only to see this stuff, but you're getting all these, as we're press people, we get all these news releases, and we get all this other kind of stuff that's going on as well.
It is so amazing. Yes, even the blind man is seeing.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the show floor. We've got a great interview coming up next.
One of the things that we see around the show floor is a lot of different video games, a lot of different ways that people are reaching out and educating a lot of not only the viewers here, but outside of the show floor. They're giving us ideas of how they're reaching other people. I'm with Scott Parker. He is with Atkins International, which is kind of interesting, I walked up and I see Atkins all over the place. I'm going, whoa, wait a second here. Because, well, I haven't actually even talked about this on air. I've lost about 30 pounds over the course of about 3 months since Labor Day by following the first two phases of Atkins.
Fantastic.
And I've just been doing this whole low-carb thing and staying away from sugars and breads and vegetables, some veggies. Some veggies are okay.
Zucchini, a lot of veggies are good, sure. Your non-starchy vegetables.
Yeah.
Right. Broccoli.
So, but you guys have this video game here. And you guys are not only just playing the video game here for us, but this is actually an educational tool that you guys are using. Tell me all about this.
Sure. Benjamin, first of all, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I love to talk to people who have had success on the program. It's amazing. But anyway, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the world a healthier place. We're trying to teach a better way to eat, and it goes well beyond just the process of losing weight. And we are trying to teach people the benefits of eating a low-carb, low-sugar diet. And we saw, as part of our overall educational outreach, there might be a really interesting application of virtual reality technology, particularly as it relates to reaching out to an important target audience of ours, which are high school kids.
Yeah, and one of the things we've been noticing, of course, in the video game culture, we're seeing a lot of kids that are staying indoors. And, of course, they're teenagers. Their body thinks, hey, we're growing, so we're going to chow down on food. And we're noticing, of course, a lot of obesity. We're noticing a higher rate of type 2 diabetes in teenagers.
I know, it's very scary.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Do you know those?
Yeah, I think actually in the United States, there are about 50 million people who have pre-diabetes.
Uh-huh.
And there are about 10 to 11% of the population actually has type 2 diabetes.
What percentage of that of them know that they have it?
Well, the type 2 people generally know. The pre-diabetes people don't.
Okay.
And if they don't change their eating practices, they're on it's kind of a downward slope that leads, unfortunately, to type 2 diabetes. So what we're trying to do is stop that process earlier,
Sure.
not just at the weight loss, the critical weight loss phase, and teach kids that what causes weight gain and what causes type 2 diabetes is this blood sugar response to your eating different kinds of foods. And some foods are good for you. They don't have very much of a blood sugar response at all. And that's your healthy proteins, your healthy fats, and your fiber-rich vegetables.
Sure.
But things like simple carbohydrates and sugars are really bad for you. Because
so the Frosted Flakes, that's probably not a good thing.
That's not. That's kind of a perfect storm of badness, actually.
Sure.
Yeah. So and we're trying to teach kids. They may already know that a can of Coca-Cola, for example, is not good for them. A full sugar can. But they may not know that if they eat a white bagel, it actually has more of an impact on their blood sugar.
Wait. A white bagel has more of an impact than a can of
That's
Coke.
right. And in fact,
Wow.
it has over 7. It would be equivalent impact to your blood sugar as eating over 7 teaspoonsful of sugar.
Oh, goody!
So,
man.
So when it comes to making a choice, do you grab the bagel, or maybe you grab a couple of cheese sticks, or maybe you have a couple of eggs, and you have virtually no impact on your blood sugar and more protein.
Very
so
cool.
it's those, it's a cumulative effect of decades of eating the wrong things and putting your body through these blood sugar spikes that has it creates you, it helps you gain weight, unfortunately, and then it pushes your body becomes insulin resistance. I'm sorry.
I understand.
So you know all about this, right?
To some extent, yeah. My doctor said you need to lose weight, and here, we're going to send you to a nutritionist, and they both told me, hey, go on to a low-carb diet. Atkins was specifically mentioned.
Yeah, it's an immediate,
Yeah.
It has a really good effect. I've spoken to many, many people whose type 2 diabetes has gone into remission.
Yeah.
Because they lose weight.
Yeah.
And because they stop this constant sugar spike process.
Very cool. So where can people find out more in regards to the video game and what you guys are doing?
Okay, hiddensugar.com, and we have a very nice video that explains this whole concept, and then we have a whole bunch of comparisons, and some of them are surprising, and then we have an eat this, not that learning mechanism as well.
Very cool. Using technology to teach is always awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Oh, thank you, Benjamin. Appreciate it.
Years ago, I found a web hosting company that fit my needs as a computer nerd, as a radio show host, and just a normal person. Recently, though, it was clear to me that it was time to upgrade, but I had a choice between my old plan and the new one at 7 times the cost. It was that awkward point where I could choose between a sip of water or being dunked in a pool. I searched around, comparing the many options for someone like me. After searching around for 3 weeks, there it was, SiteGround. In proper fashion, I tested their customer service, their knowledge, and their willingness to do things the right way. The SiteGround salesman made sure that I didn't overbuy and get a 50-gallon bucket when a 32-ounce soda would do. These guys know WordPress, Joomla, and regular standard websites. These guys at SiteGround are awesome. SiteGround.com. Site, S-I-T-E, ground.com. All right, Steve, real quick question. What goes through your mind when you think of CES?
I think of madness.
I think of exhaustion.
That too.
Yeah, definitely.
They go hand in hand. My mind goes totally blank because of the exhaustion.
You're listening to Computer Talk Radio.
Brian Myers is with me. He is with OpticWash. Now, this is something that is a system that washes, well, actually all kinds of things. But the nerd glasses, my glasses, just went through the OpticWash. They are clean as when I got them from the optometrist. Brian, tell me about this. This is something you guys are looking at putting in all kinds of different places.
That's correct. Our original plan for the kiosk was to go into airports and malls. And we had a larger unit, and we started hitting the trade shows for the vision centers, Vision East, Vision West. The optometrists and ophthalmologists loved the machine, but they said it was too big, so we designed one that was smaller. This is 22 inches in diameter, and it fit perfect with their business model. Their biggest problem was, how do I get our customers back into our centers? The average doctor's visit is every 2 years. They tell you to come back once a year. The average person goes every 2.
Really?
So now the doctor's losing accessory sales to the big box and to the internet. So with this kiosk, the doctor sees you, says, I don't need to see it for another year, but here's a gift card. I want you to, it's got 20 free washes. I want you to come in and use this kiosk anytime you want, but try to do it once a week. Kills the bacteria in your eyewear, and it's healthy for your eyes. It keeps your investment clean.
Sure. So often I hear of people, oh yeah, I just use my shirt. I use my, my coat, and I know that just grinds the dust in. It makes your glasses all cloudy.
And the reality is you can't take this machine with you, but the next best thing are to use the kits that you use to spray on your glasses.
Sure.
The problem is you're touching a surface. No matter what solution you use, you're making contact, and there's friction involved. Scratches can become apparent. So this isn't an everyday unless you own a machine, and we do have a home unit coming eventually.
Hopefully it'll be smaller than this.
Yeah, it'll be a countertop. The reason this is the size it is because we cleaned everybody's personal items like jewelry, watches, eyewear, water-resistant smartphones. We have to make sure the water is pure every time and bacteria-free, so you're not sharing germs.
Sure.
So because the filtration technology in the machine is high-tech, the home unit is your product. It'll clean it, disinfect it, and you throw the water away.
One exciting thing for me, I heard that you guys are also looking at putting these in movie theaters.
Exactly. A lot of people say when they go to the movies, they wish they'd have cleaned their glasses before they go in because they get the reflection.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we've been approached by the theme parks for 3D glasses. I will take a pair of 3D glasses. They're sitting there. They say they've been cleaned, but if you look at them, I don't know who cleaned them, but
well, there's all kinds of fingerprints and like jujubes and whatever else on there. Oh man! Give out the website where people can find out more information.
The website is OpticWash.com. Pretty simple. www.opticwash.com. Just like it sounds. OpticWash.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Okay. Well, thank you.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. In radio markets where this show lasts only an hour, you will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com.
Let me tell you about the Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio, so I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theradiofactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time. theradiofactory.com.
Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. With details and coverage on this week's excitement, here's Benjamin Rockwell with Computer Talk Radio.
All right, so we are here at CES, and I'm here with Deb Shadovitz, and we're going to talk about Press Day here for a minute. As a matter of fact, you said just before we hit record that you have trade show voice.
Yes, I can keep clearing my throat if I try hard enough, but basically this is not my normal voice. This is my trade show voice.
Yeah.
You're hearing it.
So Press Day was kind of weird today. This was not your typical Press Day.
How so?
Well, okay, LG started off, and I'm sure you've been hearing about Amazon Alexa and a lot of that stuff.
Yes,
a lot
of question about Amazon Alexa and the benefits and the questions about it.
Now picture this. I want you to picture perhaps adding in Amazon Alexa to your smart fridge. Now, I already know, Deb. I already know your thoughts of the smart fridge.
Yeah, I think our brains can tell what food we want and what we're out of. And here's the thing. I might have bought something to try it because I was curious about it, and now I'm out of it. And I'm kind of happy I'm out of it, or I'm out of it because I spilled it down the sink.
Yeah.
I don't want to reorder it automatically.
Yeah, and the smart fridge isn't going to tell me if my sour cream is bad.
Yes, I liked when you said that to me. That was a good point.
They said it'll tell by the expiration date. Well, that expiration date is only a guideline. I mean, we know that some foods are perfectly good.
It's not an expiration date.
There's sell-by date. But then also, what happens if you leave the sour cream out for like a couple of days on a hot day, and then you put it back in the fridge? It's already bad.
What happens if you're downtown L.A. and you stop in a store and you buy a really good sour cream because you're dying for sour cream, and you forget that it's in your handbag until the next day, and then you don't know what to do with it because it's been out on a hot summer day.
Exactly.
So you throw it in the fridge.
Exactly. Except I don't have a handbag, but yeah, I mean, we got the right idea.
To me this summer, so.
All right. So they also LG had a bunch of single-usage robots. They're going to have robots throughout the house. Like one is going to
usage.
Okay. Well, what I mean by that is
dedicated?
So one is going to be like your Roomba. It goes around and it vacuums, and another one is going to mow your lawn. And another one is going to do this, that, or the other thing, whatever it is. I don't know what they're thinking about, but their big focus was not on the individual robots, which they showed a little bit of. It's going to be on the hub robot. So now they want this robot that's going to be your master robot.
You know what?
This sounds kind of like Terminator or something.
I'm kind of thinking this. We have children. People have children to take out the garbage and make their beds, clean the floors. And the master robot, that's mom and dad. What happened to people doing their own things?
I know. They showed the Airbot, too. The Airbot goes in the airport. Now, it came out on stage. It's supposed to help you. It's supposed to lead you off towards your terminal or whatever. If I'm having to follow that robot, I'm not going to make my plane.
Through the crowds?
Oh, I'm not going to make my plane.
Does it wait while you put your shoes back on?
Oh, I can put my shoes on. It can start across, and I will catch up. I will catch up crawling on my hands and knees. It's that slow. It was scary.
So there's ideas out there, but do we need all this tech?
I don't know. We go in weird directions with some of this. I wanted to tell you one more from the LG conference. I know you didn't make the LG conference.
I wanted
to. I'm going to give you a little bit of an irony alert. They had all kinds of wonderful guests that had skipped their coffee this morning. One of them was, and here I'm going to read this. This is kind of how it sounded too. This was the rep from Dolby Sound Systems.
Okay.
The big sound guys. Dolby. They should be excited. They should be wonderful.
Yeah, and I've seen them do fabulous presentations.
Dolby sound that excites your senses. That's how he said it. I was like, are you kidding me? You even put the word excites in there, and you sound like you're like
Ben
Stein.
The very first voice in the Macintosh in 1984.
something like that. It was crazy. And this has been a weird day for press conferences. Noel Lee had some weird problems with the microphones and introducing
Casio?
people. Oh yeah, Casio. Now you went to the Casio one.
Yes, and I like Casio as a company, and I was excited to see what we would learn, and I expected to learn about a lot of products. So she came. It said it was going to start at exactly 1 o'clock, and at exactly 1:05, she was standing at the podium. This woman, and as she was standing at the podium, she just was standing totally still, and I thought that's a really interesting way to command everyone's attention. She's going to start with a very quiet, simple statement.
It was powerful.
Didn't.
It was powerful. There was silence for like 3 minutes.
Yes, the silence continued. We stared at her for 3 minutes, and
is she going to do puppets?
Finally, she said, "We apologize. We're having technical problems," which is not a very good thing
their
for
teleprompter.
a tech company to have.
Their teleprompter. Yeah. But, okay, now, one of the things, I don't know if I mentioned this to you. So we did see the one watch. We had 45 minutes. So they got it started. We saw the one watch that they covered. That was it. That's all they covered.
Which is what update from last year.
Exactly. And I did tell you that. I remember now. Yeah.
The thing is, Casio makes fabulous products. I want to know their latest projectors, their latest cameras.
Sure.
And they didn't even mention them. Even in the 10 or 15 minutes of dead time at the beginning, no one got up and impromptu said, "Let us tell you about some of the things we've going on." And they missed an opportunity. And sometimes you have to go off script and just improvise. And they didn't.
Wing it. I mean, look, we've got a guy who's going into office. And he's going into office, presidential office, and all he did was for the last 2 years was winging it. So I don't know. But okay, so now let's move on to Panasonic, because I went to that. Now they distinctly talked about a lot of their eco-friendly products, their eco-conscious areas. They're looking
eco meaning ecology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I never know to say eco or echo or whatever, but you get the idea.
Okay.
New batteries for electric vehicles, especially they were showing off a lithium-ion bendable battery.
Bendable.
Yeah, it was like it was skinny and it was semi-clear and it just bent. It was.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going by their booth.
Yeah, so that was really neat. Also, a matter of they've been doing a lot of stuff. They've been working with the city of Denver. And they've been doing a number of different things. So they re-outfit all of the street lights to LED lights in Denver.
I like that. I like it when a company will partner with the city, because that's when they're really getting real life testing, and a city gets the benefit, and it's endless.
Yeah, they went on for a while on different. I mean, it did get a kind of boring about all of their stuff, so I didn't really take good notes on. But there's like smart transit and electric buses and stuff like that. It was quite interesting. They also had Mickey Mouse. The Mickey Mouse showed up on stage because he was with somebody who's in charge of tech or some level of tech for the Disney parks. And Panasonic is going to be partnering with them. Now, I'm hoping that goes in a good direction. Some of the things we've been hearing about tech and Disney lately have been kind of creepy. They've got like a little wristband that you wear, and they always know where you're at. Now, of course, you're not going to lose your kids that way.
They always knew where you were anyway, but now it's a different thing. Yeah, you won't lose your kids. You won't be separated from your party.
Right.
And you know what? You can't sneak into the back of a roller coaster ride and wreck the roller coaster so that other people get hurt.
Sure.
It's a really good safety thing.
Yeah. There's positives, but I wonder sometimes just if the positives outweigh the myriad of negatives.
What's the cost of safety?
Yeah.
I wondered
exactly.
about
and we go through that. We go through that on a regular basis. And then there were a couple of other conferences that we kind of glossed over. I mean, there's the typical, we've got this new television, ours is the thinnest, and then we go to the next one, ours is the thinnest, coming out this spring. And then we go to the next one, and the thinnest one coming out will be this spring, and it's going to be ours. Okay, whatever.
But do they not see each other's press conferences? We went to the Hisense press conference.
Hisense and TCL were very interesting. These are two Chinese companies. You may have seen... I know you, Deb, have seen Hisense. Hisense and TCL are big Chinese companies, both of them in the 15, 16, 17 billion with a B, dollar range. I think Hisense has like 70,000 employees or whatever.
Hisense just took over Sharp also.
Yes.
So and I had a Sharp television in 1981.
Yeah,
in our house,
yeah.
we had a Sharp television.
Yeah. So this is one of those things where I think people are going to be seeing this on a regular basis. We're going to start seeing some of these companies. I think there's something called LaserCast. I need to look into that.
I'm interested in that.
And
it seems that they're making a television that doesn't have a screen.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a projector or what. They're listing a size with it, but
that's the size of the throw image, I think.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff here at CES. This is, of course, an amazing experience. My words can't even describe it. This is Benjamin Rockwell. You're listening to Computer Talk Radio. We'll be back in just a moment.
Let me tell you about the Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio. So I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theradiofactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time. theradiofactory.com.
I'm on the show floor of CES, and I'm with Randy Kellogg. He is the CEO of a company called Omron, and Omron is in the blood pressure world, taking your blood pressure. And this is an important thing. I'm going to tell you one of the things I really don't talk about my medical maladies all that much on the air, but I am hypertensive. It's managed fairly well. Something like CES just has it through the roof, I'm sure. I'm kind of scared to have my blood pressure taken. But we're moving in brand new directions now. This really caught my eye. Randy, tell me what you're wearing on your wrist.
So what I'm wearing on my wrist is the smallest, lightest, most watch-like blood pressure monitor ever. It's truly a wearable blood pressure monitor versus everything else we've had is portable or something you would use periodically. This one
Sure.
You can wear and take a blood pressure anytime, anywhere.
So, like right now, I have one that I've got a large lunchbox, and there's a little space in my lunchbox for a nice wrist monitor. This is the size of just a slightly larger men's watch. And this is actually more than just a blood pressure cuff. It does a number of other things as well.
Yes, it'll do your activity, so steps, calories burned, distance walked. It'll also monitor your sleep, so how long you slept, the efficiency of the sleep, how many minutes you're awake, and it will do notifications like any smartwatch would, tell you if you're getting a phone call, if you've got an email, or if you got a text message.
Very cool. Now, I speaking of sleep, that kind of reminds me, I remember my doctor saying something about sleep and blood pressure.
Sleep and blood pressure are very related. If you have what many people in the United States have, sleep apnea,
okay,
you probably have high blood pressure. One of the things they found out is that if they monitor your blood pressure, they can tell whether you're going to get sleep apnea, because it's part of the process of getting sleep apnea is having heart problems. Blood pressure is the first thing that goes up as you start to have heart problems.
Oh, wow. So high blood pressure is a indicator that you might someday get sleep apnea.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow. So all kinds of crazy stuff here. All right. So now it's a smartwatch. It's a blood pressure cuff designed to wear all day. All of this stuff. This is definitely a unique kind of thing. Now, but this isn't even out yet. You guys are still refining this. Any difficulties in in refining this, getting this ready for the public?
No real difficulties in getting ready for the public. We're 95% of the way now, as you can see on my wrist.
Yeah.
What happens now is we do the clinical studies that need to be done in order for us to submit to the FDA. So we can't just market it. This has to be cleared by the FDA because it's a medical device.
Sure.
It's a blood pressure monitor. Just like the one you use, it is cleared by the FDA. So about 3 to 6 months of clinical studies done independently.
Yeah.
And then we take all the data, put it together, and submit to the FDA, which takes about another month or so. And then 3 months after submission, the FDA will tell us yes, no, more information, all that stuff.
Make it smaller.
Make it, well, they won't tell us that. They might tell us make it bigger. No. But
they might say, how'd you get it so small?
How'd you get it so small? Exactly.
So one big question always pops up in my mind. It's a smartwatch. How often do you have to recharge that?
So if you take your blood pressure twice a day, it'll last for a week.
Wow,
If you take your blood pressure 3 times a day, it might be 4 days. And if you have a real problem, you're taking your blood pressure a lot, you probably have to charge it every night.
Okay.
So most of the charge battery is used up by the blood pressure side of it, the monitor side, because that's what has the most energy need is to pump up that cuff that's in there.
Very cool. So very new cutting-edge technology. This is one of those things that we see here at CES every year. Randy, do me a favor. Give out the website where people can find out more in regards to Omron.
Our website is omronhealthcare.com. You can also go to goingforzero.com, which is our website for hypertension in very detail.
If you would, please spell both of those.
omronhealthcare.com, so OMRONHEALTHCAR.com. And
RE probably.
RE.com. It's terrible when you're trying to spell.
It's CES. You're being bombarded by everything. No, I understand. And the other one?
The other one is goingforzero.com, so GOINGFORZERO.com.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I am here with Roman Aflelu here at CES. And one of the interesting things about your product here is that I have a story behind this. Okay. CosmoConnected is more than awesome. This caught my eye, well, because it's bright, but also a bright blinking light. You may have seen motorcyclists driving down the highway. They're wearing their motorcycle helmets, and then they hit the brake, and you just see this small little light on the back of their motorcycle. Well, let's take that one step further beyond just a bright light. A long time ago, about 20 years ago, I got into a motorcycle accident. Oh. I'm driving along on a rural road, and a cat jumped out, and I went off of the road onto some gravel and wound up tumbling my bike, dropping my bike down rather unexpectedly. And about 2 hours later, they were lifting me up into the ambulance. So for 2 hours, I was out there all on my own. And Roman, you guys have a product that solves that. Go ahead, let's start off. It's a brake light.
It's a brake light. Hi. It's the first world connected brake light. Basically, the light goes on when you reduce speed, just like you said. But also, it can detect when you have an accident. So when you have an accident, we send a notification through our mobile app, Android and iOS, and we say, okay, are you okay? We detect an accident. We have like 30 seconds to say, I'm okay, because maybe sometimes you just fell and whatever.
Sure.
And if it's not okay, you're not answering, we're going to call you. First call, if you're not answering, we call you twice, second time, And after the second call, well, we call for you the rescue. So within 3 minutes, we're calling the rescue, give your GPS location, and say all the medical information that the rescue needs to know. So your blood types, if you have allergy, if you have any specific condition. And after that, we're going to call also your emergency contact. So let's say your wife, your father, anyone.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So this is basically what it's all about. We start first with a motorcycle, but let's say we bring better visibility to everyone who's having a helmet, who's wearing a helmet.
Sure.
So you can go to a cyclist. Not only the brake mode, we have different mode, like you can see the flashing mode.
Yes.
Or the continuous mode.
Yeah.
So let's say also you're a cyclist and you want to be more visible. and also connected through an app.
Nice.
But let's say you also your children go to the ski. They use a helmet to ski.
Wow. So if they're out on the slopes, you know if they've been in an accident.
Yes, but also to be more visible. Let's say it's snowing. You don't see anything.
Sure.
You'll be visible with our products, with either on the flashing mode or either in continuous mode. But and at any time, you can know where your kids are with our application. So let's say I want to know where are my children. I want to know if they're safe. If they're safe. So basically, our app, this is why we create CosmoConnected. We want to be the first company that provide lights on any kind of helmets. And today it's the worldwide launching. So
very cool. Do me a favor, real quick. Normally we don't ask, but what is the price point on something like this?
$99 to retail.
Oh, man. Okay. That is actually a really good price when you consider, these days, people for a motorcycle helmet, people are paying $500 and up easily. And, this is, again, I would have loved to have had this 20 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
I wound up with a broken arm and a concussion.
Wow.
And it could have been so much worse. Somebody saw me off the road in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because it was after dark.
But you know what? Even if someone saw you, I don't know where were you accident, but it's difficult to say where you are sometimes. Sometimes you're on the road on the countryside, you don't know where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And there's this guy who got stuck for 8 days under his motorcycle.
8 days.
He got alive, thanks God. But you know what I mean? So basically this is what our product will help people to be more visible and hopefully save lives.
Roman, do me a favor. Give out the website where people can find more information.
You can find all the details on CosmoConnected.com.
That's Cosmo with a C. COSMO Connected.com.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Finn.
I'm constantly looking for the right place to get the things that are on my nerd wish list. It's not easy. There are so many stores that have gone out of business. There are so many shady characters online, or so many of them are just simply not capable of handling my needs in a one-stop shop. In 1979, two guys got together and built the brick-and-mortar company that could serve your tech needs. Of course, today, they've got an online presence, and it's called Micro Center. They've got tablets, iPad, yes, but also Android and Windows and all the accessories, too. They've got laptops, desktops, all-in-ones, Windows or Apple, of course, all covered here. Motherboards and processors, and okay, all right, who are we kidding? It's really everything to build your own PC. Keyboards, mice, surge protectors, software, tools, and thumb drives. Enough. Look, from Apple to Zyxel, Micro Center has what you're looking for. 25 stores across the nation, or you can check them out online at microcenter.com. That's microcenter.com.
Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
This is Steve Keski, and we're here at CES, and I have Reese Fillmore at a booth here, and we're talking about cameras for the people that are disabled, people that can't see like I do. And people that can't hear. So, Reese, what do you have for us?
So this device specifically is called the Orcam My Eye. There is another device that's called the My Reader, which just reads. But this device is designed specifically for those with low vision and blindness. So a tiny little camera goes on your eyewear. If you don't wear eyewear, we can just give you a zero prescription setup. But the eyeglasses basically hold a tiny camera and speaker, which perches by your right ear. And then basically what that's going to do is take pictures. That image translates down to what we call the brains or the base unit of the operation, and it's converted to audio and comes back up and whispers in your ear. So if you're having a hard time recognizing text, objects, or even faces, if you train it on those faces, those objects that it can't read, it will actually be able to tell you what they are.
Hey, that's great. So what will it do as far as reading is concerned?
All right, great. Well, I'd like to do a quick demonstration for you, if that's okay. So I have this tiny little camera, like I mentioned before. It's on my eyeglasses. I slip it onto my face. So now basically wherever my nose is pointed, the camera's pointed in the same direction. I'm going to bring the Orcam brochure right up to the about 10 inches from my nose. I'm going to push the trigger button. Snaps a picture.
Orcam is an intuitive wearable device with a smart camera designed to assist people who are visually impaired. Orcam gives independence.
And I'm going to stop it right there. So that's basically reading some text that I'm holding in my hand.
Right. And you can do this on basically anything at all?
So not handwriting, but specifically computer-generated text.
Cool. How about a person that's going to shopping and they're knowing what bill they've got?
Well, that's unbelievable. We actually have another feature called product or object recognition, so that when the device can't read, you can actually teach it what something is. Like in this case, I have some fruit snacks, mixed fruit nut snacks in front of me. I'm going to point, which is another way we can activate the device. I pointed it. It says...
Mixed fruit snacks by Welch's.
Now, you can teach it up to 150 specific products, and included in that is money denominations. They already come pre-programmed. So I'm going to point at a $1 bill in front of me.
$1.
And there you go.
That's really cool. I can envision a lot of people do it. So how much training does a person have to have for this?
So the device is either $3,500 for the My Eye, which has all three features. And I didn't get to show you face recognition yet, but I will in a sec.
Yeah.
That device is $3,500 and includes 2 to 3 hours of training. And generally, we will send a trainer, if we have one locally, to your home. The My Reader is $2,500, and it just does the OCR part of it.
Cool.
You want to see face recognition working?
Yes, we do.
All right, so let me ask you just to look towards me. I'm going to push the button.
One person is in front of you.
Okay, so it recognized you as a person. Now I'm going to push the button and actually teach you to the device. So I'm going to ask you to put your hand across your CES badge so you don't think I'm cheating. And I'm going to push the button for 2 to 3 seconds.
Please name the person in front of you after the beep.
It's Steve.
It's Steve. Press button to person learned.
So now you've been learned in my device, and if I was to turn and look at you, push the button.
It's Steve.
That's face recognition, and I just programmed you into the device.
Now that's great. I like that kind of version.
One of the questions that goes through my mind right here, so now you've just trained that, but now this is a loudspeaker that's sitting right here. Do you have any kind of like a localized speaker that goes right there?
Speaker right here. So there's a tiny little speaker right here by my right ear, which I mentioned. The speaker that we've been picking up from is a speaker that's not included with the kit, just for demonstration purposes.
Cool, I see it now. Okay, awesome.
Well, any other features that come with it?
Well, we're working on barcode identification. We actually have a new head unit with us here today, which is also going to be able to mount on the left side. So if you have right side hearing loss, you could actually mount this new unit that's going to be coming out on the left side or the right side of the eyeglasses.
Do me a favor, Reese, if you would give out the website where people can find more information in regards to this.
I'd be very happy to. So that's www.orcam.com, ORCAM.com.
Very cool. I imagine that you guys are going to be working with the National Federation for the Blind and Braille Institute and the guys like that.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with Dave Meyer, and he's with SuperHappyFunFun. SuperHappyFunFun? What is that?
We're a video game company. How can it not be super happy, fun?
All right. So this is actually an arena that my wife would actually, oddly enough, I don't talk about this very often. My wife is really good at shooting clays. She loves to shoot clays. And that's what drew my eye. You guys have a couple of, they're green, orange, and black shotguns out here. Tell me about this.
So it's a digital connected console, and it comes with Big Buck Pro Hunter, which if your wife likes shooting clays, we have 18 bonus games in here, all mini shooter games. And you can play head-to-head, so she might be able to make you not look so good.
Oh, yeah. We already go through that a lot. It's fun that she goes on out, she shoots. It's not so fun when she keeps beating me at it. It's ugly. So this is one of those things. I'm presuming that it's internet connected and stuff like that. Give me an idea of that.
It is internet connected. It's an Android-based digital console with internet connection. It has a Bluetooth wireless controller, which happens to be a gun for shooting games.
Sure.
And it comes with the complete Big Buck Hunter Pro, just like you have in the bars.
Yeah.
And you can go online. You can download more games. as well as leaderboards, and we have tournaments that we run weekly.
Wow, this is really cool. This is something that if somebody's into shooting, if somebody's and I guess this is something that even people who aren't into shooting, we do find that the kids do enjoy hunting games. They do enjoy this kind of stuff. I will tell you, I know an anti-gun family. They live a few doors down from me, but their kids are always playing these various games.
It's easy to play for the whole family. We call it couchtainment. And it's great for the whole family to play.
All right. So what are we talking about for something like this?
So it retails for $79.99. You can get an extra gun for that head-to-head play for $39.99.
Do me a favor. Give me the website where people can find out more information about this.
It's SureShotHD.com. And it's also available on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, Target.com, and select Sam stores.
What about SuperHappyFunFun.com?
We do have a SuperHappyHappy.com, but we don't sell it there.
All right.
But you can come visit. We have lots of other fun games there.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Benny Rockwell. Most of us use video cameras nowadays, but what about those old movie films in the back of your closet? Well, let me tell you about Legacy Digital Productions. They specialize in taking your old memories on film, videotape, and slides and digitizing them to DVDs. Imagine Grandpa's old 8mm and 16mm films that are just sitting in a box getting old and fading away. Legacy Digital will clean and recondition those films, capture them digitally frame by frame, and then produce beautiful DVDs of your precious memories on long-lasting, archive-quality discs. They don't use a projector, and your films can't be damaged in the process, the best available for families like yours. The final results are gorgeous. What better way to preserve those precious memories for future generations? Call right now, mention my name, Benny Rockwell, and receive a 30% discount on your order. Call toll-free 1-866-2-LEGACY. That's 1-866-2-LEGACY. 1-866-253-4229. And tell them Benny sent you. Your memories are priceless. So call 866-2-LEGACY now.
All kinds of companies are here at CES. This is one of those situations where we could talk about companies that are brand new. We could talk about companies that are 50 years old, like Cobra. Cobra has been famous in the CB market, the radar detector market, but now you guys are moving into a wireless backup camera.
Yeah,
I've got Chris here. He is with Cobra.
I'm with Cobra Electronics, and we have a line of dash cams and now wireless backup cameras under our Drive HD brand. So we have a new wireless backup camera that requires really no installation. It's about a 5-minute setup. If you can put your license plate on your car, you can fully install this product. No wires, no pulling, no drilling, nothing like that. It is a license plate frame that with a camera on it. It has a 4-year battery life and pairs to your smartphone using Bluetooth Low Energy with a small push-button trigger that launches the camera on your smartphone with the push of a button.
One of the interesting things that I saw with this is, this little gizmo here that attaches to the steering wheel. When you press that button, it actually, you don't even have to have your thumbprint over there. You don't have to go and
enter a password or like you said, your thumbprint or launch an app or anything like that.
Sure. It just goes straight to it.
Straight to it. And it does it via Bluetooth Low Energy, so the response rate is less than a second, really.
That was, I wasn't timing it, but that looked like a second.
Yeah.
And there you go. This is great. This is one of those things this is just an example of some of the ingenuity that's going on out there.
Yeah, we're using Bluetooth Low Energy, to launch it, and we're bypassing the security codes to make it safe while you're driving. We're also using Bluetooth Low Energy to transfer the video, like I mentioned, to make it a faster response time.
Sure.
Use less battery.
And with Bluetooth, we're talking. Unless you've got like a Ford. What is it? Expedition? Was that the big one? Yeah. You might be at the edge of the.
Actually,
No, you're not.
A Ford Expedition. You're fine with it.
But you got 30 feet. Yeah. You're a big rig driver, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Yep.
Thank you very much, Chris.
No problem.
Give out the website where people can find out more information in regards to the Drive HD.
Cobra.com.
I am here with Ted Quartler. He is with Liberty Mutual Insurance. Now, okay, you're going to think right now, I'm about ready to pitch you insurance.
Absolutely.
Or you're thinking he's going to pitch you insurance. But the reality is you guys are into all kinds of technology. Let's go through this. Let's talk about what we're going to be seeing in the future through the stuff you guys are doing.
Absolutely. So I work within the innovation department and specifically within a group called Solaria Labs. It's an innovation incubator, and we're here today to talk about a developer portal. We've actually launched multiple services that we want third-party developers to integrate into. To make that real for you, we've created software that assesses damage after a fender bender using artificial intelligence. And we use it in our core app, and we want actually third-party developers to start integrating that.
So I saw you using here, just as an example, you've got an iPhone, and there were pictures, 4 different pictures of the car. It's been in a fender bender.
That's right.
And it's just, you tell it it's whatever it was, Toyota Camry?
Yeah, it was a 2016 Toyota Camry. It got into a minor fender bender. We took 4 pictures of it, provided other information related to the make, model, year, and a zip code for where the repair would happen. And our service will automatically provide a range estimate for that repair cost.
So in that case, it said somewhere between whatever it was, $1,200 and $1,800. I think it was
Yeah,
somewhere
I
in
think
there. Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
close to that.
But
Yeah,
it gives you a guideline. It gives you somewhere to go with this.
Our goal is to help someone at the point of having a fender bender. We know it's very stressful. We want people to live life with less worry, and so we think that this will help them make more informed decisions right on the spot.
Now, you guys are looking in all kinds of different directions. One of the things that really caught my eye was safe routing. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so through Solaria Labs, we've interviewed about 7,000 different consumers, and we found a group of people, their pain point is routing in an urban environment. If they're approaching, let's say, a dangerous intersection, they wouldn't know it if they're not from that city. And so our service hopes to provide that.
Sure. I mean, everywhere we live, we always have that bad section of town. And, you know, if we're natives to that city, we know, okay, in this intersection, we want to keep the doors and windows up and locked and the whole bit. This will actually give you guidance around that.
Well, it's going to provide information, not necessarily around it, but allow you to be hyper-vigilant and make your own informed choice.
Sure.
So to make that real, if in New York City, there's specific intersections that have historically had many accidents, and we would want someone to be hyper-vigilant as they're driving through it.
Sure. And now, what are some of the other things here, too?
So we're also, we have... through our research, we've found a lot of urban drivers are concerned with parking. And so we've created another service that has taken every single parking meter in 5 major U.S. cities, provided information for their specific parking meter for latitude and longitude, as well as the information around the restrictions by day of week and by hour. And so our hope there is that a third-party developer could create an application that helps people park easier.
Very cool. So you guys are doing all of this basically just to make life easier for the various drivers that are on the road.
Yeah, we are a traditional insurance carrier, and right now we really are focused on innovation. And we're focused on innovation through the lab on 3 main things: IoT and connected home, the sharing economy, and also next-gen vehicle technology. And we think that the developer portal that we're launching has services, in this case, related to automotive safety.
And the company name is Liberty Mutual Insurance. What's the website?
SolariaLabs.com is where a third-party developer or someone who's interested, like a data scientist, can sign up and get access to these services.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
Years ago, I found a web hosting company that fit my needs as a computer nerd, as a radio show host, and, well, a normal person. Recently, though, it became clear to me that it was time to upgrade. I had a choice between my old plan and the new one at 7 times the cost. It was that awkward point where I could choose between a sip of water or being dunked in a pool. I searched around, comparing the many options for someone like me. After looking for 3 weeks, there it was, SiteGround. In proper fashion, I tested their customer service, their knowledge, and their care, their willingness to do things the right way. The SiteGround salesman made sure that I didn't overbuy and get a 50-gallon bucket when all I needed was a 1-gallon bucket. The folks at SiteGround know WordPress, Joomla, and more. SiteGround.com. SITE ground.com for your web hosting needs. SiteGround. Steve, I got to ask you something real quick.
Yes.
How many cups of coffee have you had today?
Oh, I stopped counting at about 15.
It's not even noon yet.
I know.
That's what we've got to do. This is the kind of work we have to do here at 2017 CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. We have to make sure we are well caffeinated to bring you the latest and greatest in computers and technology.
Last year, I reviewed the Cherry MX 6.0 keyboard. One of the things I did when I reviewed it was I started typing on it. I mic'd the keyboard. It was loud. But you know what? It's a good keyboard. It's a solid keyboard because it's made with Cherry switches. Cherry makes, of course, the switches for a number of different keyboard companies, but they also make them for their own keyboards. But now, Michael Schmidt is here from Cherry Communications. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's just marketing communications or PR or whatever, you know. The guy said, I love to talk.
So basically, your Cherry keyboards, you've got a silent keyboard now. Tell me about this.
Sorry that we screwed up your last review, right? Because if you type on that one, you won't hear anything, right?
Yeah, it's really quiet.
Yeah, because the people like mechanical keyboards, they love it. But some of the people have complaining because they think the mechanical keyboards are too loud. Yeah, so therefore we introduced the silent switches and the silent keyboard, so the customer have now more choice.
Sure, yeah, I've worked in open offices, and there's this pressure for everybody to lower the volume. We're all here and we're whispering in the office because our boss is right there and his boss is a few seats over, and it's like there's so many people there that can listen to it. So this entire concept is great for a business environment, but it's also great, smaller homes.
Yes.
You're sitting at home and your computer is in your bedroom and your spouse just went to sleep, and if you're pounding away on the MX6, the loud one, you're going to be in trouble.
You won't believe how many guys try to play at home with mechanical keyboards in the bedroom and get complaints from their girlfriends.
Sure.
So I already got some nice feedback that the people love that keyboard because then they can play.
Yeah.
And be with their girlfriend at the same time.
That's really great. This is one of those things that, and I admit there is a price to these keyboards, but at the same time, there's a value in these. The switches are rated for what, 1 million?
So the switches, so there are different messages out in the market, right? Most of the manufacturers are always up to something.
Yes.
Right? We're quite different. We say you've got 50 million keystrokes guaranteed on every single key switch.
50 million. 50 million. How long would somebody have to type to hit 50 million?
Theoretically, about 8 years, day to day.
Day to day, and just on that same key.
Yeah. And we do quality testing back in Germany.
Yeah.
And it takes us 6 months to reach the 50 million with the machine, right? And it's just hard typing all the time.
It's just their machine gun style.
Yeah. 24 hours.
Oh, man. That's absolutely wild. Michael, do me a favor. Give out the website where people can find out more about Cherry keyboards.
They can go to cherry.de or cherryamericas.com.
All right. Cherry.de.
Yes.
Or cherryamericas.com. Very cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. You will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com. That's computertalkradio.com.
Let me tell you about the Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio, so I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theRadioFactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time.